In 2 Corinthians 6:14, Paul gives an important instruction to us as God's people: do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. ESV, why is this important? Paul answers that question as the verse continues, for what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? In other words, the reason we shouldn't be unequally yoked is that we don't have anything in common, from a faith and worldview perspective, with unbelievers. Paul continues that line of reasoning in verses 15 and 16, what accord has Christ with Belial? Or what portion does a believer share with an unbeliever? What agreement has the temple of God with idols? For we are the temple of the living God, as God said, I will make my dwelling among them and walk among them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Is this a prohibition against having any dealings at all with unbelievers? I don't believe so. Instead, I believe it's referring primarily to areas of life where our beliefs, values, and convictions will come into conflict with the beliefs, values, and convictions of unbelievers. In other words, working alongside unbelievers, i.e., being yoked together with them, to accomplish something inherently tied up with our Christian beliefs and worldview is going to be not only unfruitful but also unwise and contrary to God's calling on our lives. As Paul continues in verse 17, therefore go out from their midst, and be separate from them, says the Lord, and touch no unclean thing, then I will welcome you. Let's consider a couple of examples to gain some clarity. Participating in a neighborhood cleanup day at a local park wouldn't be a violation of this command. The relationship is temporary and informal, and the task at hand isn't dependent on your faith, worldview, values, or convictions. Yes, you might be motivated to participate because of your faith and your desire to be active in your community, but the tasks involved in cleaning up the park will be performed the same regardless of your faith and worldview. In other words, there's no fundamental conflict with unbelievers. On the other hand, teaming up with members of non-Christian religions to host a community day of prayer would be a different matter. In this case, the objective is inherently spiritual and the differences between the various perspectives would be entirely relevant to the planned activity. This would be a case of trying to achieve something spiritual alongside people who hold completely different beliefs about God, His revelation to man, and our relationship with Him.